It's happening. It's finally happening after, I want to say, 6 months since Kizaru left to go to Egghead Island. He is now in action, baby! One of my favorite antagonists in the entire story. Oh, I'm getting too excited. Today, on More Fanime, I'm gonna be reviewing chapter 1091 of the One Piece manga. Yes, today, that bad boy hit my phone quicker than you can imagine, and I read it faster than it made it here in the speed of light, just like Kizaru. Oh, yeah, just like Borsellino, I should say. This might be my favorite chapter of Egghead Island, and it honestly has pushed Egghead Island into the point where I'm thinking it might be my favorite arc since the time skip. I love it. I love it so much. And there was a slow start, getting used to the future world that is Egghead Island. But with all these jumping around the world, seeing Kid and Law and Blackbeard and Garp and Kobe doing all the crazy shiz. And now this, and now two of my favorite antagonists in the entire story are dueling two of my favorite Straw Hats. Perfection, baby! Alright, before I get into spoiler territory, don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video. It really helps me with the YouTube algorithms. Let's get into it. Oh yeah, this bad boy starts off with a color spread of the Straw Hat crew eating pizza. I don't know why you'd leave out Nico Robin, Oda. Kind of suspicious here. Chopper and Brooker in the back. I mean, everybody else is there. Why the frick are we leaving out Nico Robin? I'm watching you. Chapter 1091, titled Sentomaru. Which is kind of suspicious as well, because a lot of the times when Oda titles a chapter after a character, it can mean that they will be dying soon. Yeah, I mean, I think the last time it happened was with Izo and Ashura, and I believe they got title chapters, and I believe they died at the end of Wano. So Sentomaru might not be long for the One Piece world, which I'm fine with. We need more stakes, we need more drama, we need more sadness in this One Piece world, and I'm here for it. Give Kizaru all the wins we can possibly give him before he inevitably gets taken down by the Straw Hat crew. Alright, kicks off. We see the pacifistas. We see the sea beasts just attacking all the marine ships, the cipher pole, the vice admirals, whoever's out there just challenging all these, the world government essentially on Sentomaru's command. At the end of last chapter, Sentomaru commanded them to attack, to start all-out war to protect Dr. Vegapunk. And that's exactly what's happening here. And to be honest, while I was reading this, watching the Vice Admirals kick some absolute bootay, even Vice Admiral Dahl comes in and whacks a pacifista. Maybe she's against beating up animals like these, these giant sea beasts, these mechanized sea beasts. When I saw the Vice Admirals with the 17 chins with the crazy Zephyr Z robot arm come in and punch one of the hippo sea beasts, I cringed. I was like, ooh, that's a poor animal you're doing that to. And I know these are massive Neptunian-sized creatures that would probably eat me if I was in the sea around them. But I felt bad for them because they're getting absolutely bodied by these vice admirals, and that's the reason they're there. They're protecting their men. It's understandable. The sacrifices of war. I feel bad for these animals because they're being controlled by these these machines. I assume they're still alive. They're not just cyborgs. I assume they're alive, but maybe they are just pure robot. But I just feel bad for them. I do. I hope you do too. Comment down below if you feel bad for the sea beasts. But yeah, we get to see the Vice Admirals in action. I have a feeling these Vice Admirals are going to be fighting the Straw Hat crew, or what's left of the Straw Hat crew that can still battle it out. Because we all know Nico Robin's hurt, so she probably won't be doing anything else physically So that's happening, and a couple of the Straw Hat crew, Frankie and Bonnie for sure, are back on the Sunny right now. So they might not be able to fight these guys either. But I have a feeling we're gonna give everybody else, maybe an Usopp, a Nami, a Sanji, an opportunity to fight these badasses from Marine headquarters, wherever the frick they came from. From there, we see everybody talking about Sentomaru fighting Kizaru, because it does seem like nobody, I guess it makes sense that the Straw Hat crew had no idea they had sent an admiral. And who Luffy was talking about in the last chapter, saying somebody very strong has arrived. He was talking about Kizaru, baby! One of the greatest Marines of all time. We even get a little bit of a backstory for him. This is everything I've been asking for months, people. I love it so much. Usopp's like, oh shit. Sentomaru's going at it. The sea beasts are going at it. The pacifistas are protecting us. They're doing their job. This is crazy. This is some Sabaody destruction type shiz. We get the crew kind of having some PTSD of seeing Kizaru again, going, shit, the last time we saw that guy, he split us up for 2 years. Well, he didn't split us up for 2 years, but he almost killed us, which led to Kuma splitting us up for 2 years. So, there's some feelings. There's some feels there. And it's not good, because Kizaru is not pure evil, but he is a bad, bad man. And he ain't backing down. Not even for one of his closest of friends. Somebody he probably considers to be somewhat of a family member, even though they're not actually family. And Kizaru and Sentomaru, who are just going at it. Even Vegapunk's like, I wouldn't look down on you, Sentomaru, if you decided to run away and not fight Kizaru, since I basically made him your mentor when I first met you, which is nutso butso. I mean, it really does seem like Kizaru worked hand in hand with Vegapunk for a large period of his life before he became an actual full-fledged admiral. Maybe right before he became a vice admiral and he had to leave, but right in that zone when he's just like a captain or something. He's a young man in the Marines just assigned to protect Vegapunk. He was kind of there to train Sentomaru. I never cared for Sentomaru until these last 2 chapters, by the way, and now I'm starting to care. He's putting over my guy, and I love it. Sentomaru's going ham, though. He's kicking ass. He's grabbing his big-ass axe. He goes to swing it at Kizaru. And yes, we know that Sentomaru is a armament hockey master, possibly observation hockey user as well. And he could cut Kizaru if he could hit him with his hockey. But the thing is, Kizaru is made of light. So Kizaru splits himself in half, knowing that the armament hockey axe would cut him in half. And so he splits himself in half because he's made of light, dodging it in a unique way, which I absolutely love seeing this guy kick some ace. And it shows a little bit of a flashback of little young Sentomaru kicking some bear's bootay, and Vegapunk and a much younger Kizaru or Borsalino come up and notice this little kid just being a badass, going, what are you doing here? Well, I don't like the people of this island, so I come out here and I do cool things, essentially. And I think it was Kizaru that was like, they kicked you out of the town, didn't they? For being a little too rambunctious. And Sentomaru's begging Vegapunk for a job. He's like, I don't even need to eat. And Vegapunk's like, well then what would you buy? And he's like, onigiri! Maybe you should look to Zoro for a nice onigiri. Probably not the one he's thinking of. But you even see a smiling Kizaru saying, man, you used to be cute back then, but it doesn't matter to me because I'm a government dog and I'm coming to strike you down. And he essentially does that exactly. He blasts a hole through, he blasts a light beam at Sentomaru, some Dragon Ball shiz, and knocks him to the ground. I wouldn't say he blasts a hole through him. We haven't actually seen any hole in him. He's not a donut yet. But he takes out Sentomaru with his ultimate finishing strike. He even says, my guard is stronger than yours, even though I taught you the best I could. And he doesn't look down on Sentomaru for siding with Vegapunk and siding with the Straw Hat crew. He even says, since when are you siding with pirates? And he's like, since they started protecting the old man, the guy who gave me a life to live. He gave me a purpose. And I'm going to protect him till I die. And I really do hope, and I doubt it, and I know I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, that the title of this chapter is Sentomaru. But I do hope that he dies. I do. Just because it would just make this more of a memorable moment. We'll all remember it. We'll remember Kizaru chose to fight one of his closest friends. He doesn't have a lot of those, probably. It's him and Akainu. That's about it. And he chose to fight him essentially to the death. But he picks it up and he goes, hey, pacifistas, go ahead and Sentomaru's been knocked out, so I'm the next in command. And I know you guys didn't actually see him get knocked out by me, but just take my word for it. And we're going to change those orders. Instead of attacking the Marines, which you're built not to do, we're going to have you take out the sea beasts instead. So I wonder how that works. Because we know that Sentomaru's command is higher than the Admiral's. But since he was knocked out, it goes to Kizaru. But it makes me wonder why Kizaru didn't have to kill him for that to actually work. Because I guess he had to get the command device from him to make it work. It must have been the one that was on Sentomaru. I'm just throwing that out there. It was a little confusing because the pacifistas didn't know for sure if Sentomaru was unconscious. They were all out there fighting, the 50 of them, so I just don't understand that. But now the Straw Hats are in big trouble, making me think that we're not going to be sticking around Egghead too long. If we're going to have, give or take, 50 pacifistas and a shit ton of, 10 Vice Admirals, 9 Vice Admirals, and Saturn, and 30,000 Marines, or whoever survived the initial siege, going after just the Straw Hat crew, they're screwed. I don't think that the Straw Hat crew is strong enough to take all of that. Maybe if you subtract the 50 pacifistas, maybe. But it's going to take just Jinbei to fight a couple of those by himself. It's going to take Sanji by himself at least 10 pacifistas. He could probably handle maybe 10. These are the strongest pacifistas. Mark III, baby. They're stronger than the originals. So it's going to take a little bit more. And Zoro, as I'm going to reveal here, is a little bit busy. Yeah, he's a bit busy. He can't fight the pacifistas. He can't fight the Vice Admirals because Zoro is fighting Rob Lucci. Yes! One of my favorite parts of this chapter. Rob Lucci decides to turn on the Straw Hat crew even though he had aligned with them temporarily. He never said they were besties or anything. And he goes in with a finger pistol directed at Vegapunk, which probably would kill the guy. When was the last time a finger pistol actually killed someone? Comment down below, let me know. He comes in with a finger pistol, but Stussy sees Hattori fly up into the air and goes, caw. So Hattori just gives away fucking Lucci's plan. Lucci comes in with a finger pistol, and Stussy blocks it, taking the pistol herself. So she's down on the ground bleeding. So Stussy's out now. I would assume now, unless she can use her succubus powers to heal quickly, I think, which, Sanji would probably give up some of his blood for that. He would for Stussy. She's out. She's out of the picture, and she's one of the strongest allies they have here at Egghead Island. And before Lucci can think of a new plan, or continue to go after Vegapunk, Zoro comes out of nowhere and attacks him with his two swords, and they're battling it out. They burst through the Labo phase, and Lucci's like, you damn Straw Hats. And Zoro's like, you really need to stop underestimating us. And I agree. Lucci should have learned his lesson by now. But I am so hyped for a Rob Lucci versus Zoro match. Even though I think that Rob Lucci needs to learn that the government doesn't give two shits about him, but I don't know if he cares about that. I kind of want Zoro to put Lucci down. Lucci's one of my top 10 favorite villains in the entire story. But it might be time to put that boy down. He's had a lot of opportunities to do some cool shit. But every time he gets countered by the Straw Hat crew, and I think it's time he, 3 times. Fool me once, fool me twice, but 3 times. It's enough. And you might be wondering what's going on with Kaku. As you know, Kaku is on a bed because he is badly injured from the Seraphim. Right before he could even get out of bed, Sanji, the absolute smartest character in the entire series, grabs Nami's bubble gun that she used on, or that they used on the Seraphim, and traps Kaku in the bubble. And he's like, I guess that your buddy there didn't put you, give you a hint on what the plan is, because you were just laying there like a damn fool. I assume, Lucci's trying to be sneaky about it. Even Lucci's like, now that me and Kizaru are working together, we can't fail. So Kizaru and Lucci have a little bit of a rapport. They kind of have a similar attitude to justice. And they just follow orders. They are both Marine dogs. They are the top 2 villains outside of Saturn, which we don't know if he's even close to Kizaru's power. So these are the top 2. And our top 2 Straw Hats, Zoro and Luffy, they're fighting them. Lucci versus Zoro is almost more exciting to me than Kizaru and Luffy, even though I love both options. So Kizaru leaves Sentomaru, and he's like, Straw Hats. How nostalgic. And he goes through the light shield, and Vegapunk's just like, we better hurry, because, Kizaru could just go right through the light shield since he's made of light, and Usopp's like, what? That's wild. And he goes through the light shield, as mentioned a couple chapters ago, goes directly towards the Sunny, because he finds the Sunny. He's like, I was wondering where your ship was. But before he can reach the Sunny and the Vega Force 1, Luffy comes down. He's staring him down like an old Western. And he's like, Kizaru, Borsellino, you're lucky I remembered your name. I only remember people's names that leave an impact. And you definitely left an impact. We're 100 times stronger than we were 2 years ago. Really feels like 10 years ago, but 100 times stronger. Yes, they are. And Luffy, at light speed, comes in with a kick or a punch towards our boy Kizaru, and their fight begins, and the chapter ends, and next week we have a break, and it's mind-blowingly annoying, but I get it that, our Oda needs a break. Another break. I really hope that this is it, and we get 4 weeks in a row after this. But to end it on this chapter, I got a lot to talk about. I do. In future videos, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. I really hope we don't just blitz through these battles. Yes, you can blitz through the Vice Admirals. I feel bad that Sanji isn't fighting Lucci, because I think that would also be a great fight. I do. I think it would be fun, but it's fine. But I think Sanji's going to have to lead the Straw Hat crew into, not only to get to safety, protecting, a hurt Nico Robin. Chopper only has Monster Point, and that might help, but the odds are stacked against the Straw Hat crew, to say the least. Sanji's gonna have to protect them, and that's a really important role. It's not like he's getting left out. Getting Zoro and Lucci, that's just nice to get him off the board. Having Kaku there, I don't know if he's gonna do anything of importance now that he's in a bubble. And that's sad. But I'm glad he got to do some stuff. He got to fight 2 Seraphim, as he mentioned. That's pretty good. I do love me some Kaku. But our giraffe guy has been taken off the board. So it's really down to Jinbei and Sanji to protect the rest of the crew who is still there. Obviously, Nami, Chopper, Usopp, they are going to fight as well. But they also have to protect the Vegapunks. I can't imagine we're going to have a full-out battle here. I think at some point during this battle, they are going to get on the ship, and they are going to Koopa to burst the hell out of there towards Elbaf. I think that's going to happen. But I hope, beyond hope, that Rob Lucci and Zoro's fight lasts more than a chapter, more than a page. I don't want some quickness. No, I don't want to skip past that battle. I want to see every ounce of that battle. I mean, really, since Wano, we haven't had a full-fledged, multi-chapter fight. And that's what I want for Zoro and Lucci, and that's what I want for Luffy and Kizaru. And I feel like Luffy cannot leave Egghead Island without getting a win against an admiral. He needs to prove himself here and now. There's so many elements that haven't even been revealed yet. We have the Blackbeard pirates. At least 2 of them are probably on the island right now doing some sneaky shit. We got Bonnie on the ship with Frankie, along with Lilith piloting the Vega Force 1, the big robot thing. Everybody else is with the Vegapunks trying to take the shield down, but means nothing if you can't take out freaking Rob Lucci and Kizaru. It's just so exciting. As you can tell, I'm flabbergastedly excited right now for these battles. 2 what-if battles I've been waiting for since we met Rob Lucci, since we met Kizaru. I've been waiting for these duels to happen. And who knows? Maybe Sanji will be involved with the fight with Rob Lucci, or maybe he'll go up there with some of those light punching, kicking thingies that one of the Vegapunks showed us early in this arc, and help Luffy out. Back a bro up. There's no reason it has to be a 1v1 unless he just wants to prove himself. It's exciting. I'm worried. I'm worried that Nico Robin's going to get taken. Because why else did Oda make her be the one that got hurt? We didn't even get to see the fight that it happened in. But she is injured. What's happening there? Is she going to get taken because she's not going to be able to fight back? Because there's a lot of Marines here. Rob Lucci is here, and his whole thing is taking Nico Robin away from the crew. So we need to protect her at all costs. Maybe give them a couple Vegapunks. Just take the original. It's all we need. Take the original and Lilith. Everybody else can stay behind. Perfect. What did you guys think of chapter 1091 of the One Piece manga? I absolutely loved it. Don't forget to comment down below. Do not forget to subscribe. Tell me your favorite moment. Because this is peak One Piece post-time skip. And it's just going to get better. We are reaching a pinnacle point for this series. Something that's going to take us into the stratosphere of new video games and merchandise that I can't wait to buy. Whew. This is more Fanime. I'll talk to you later.